Go back another banger, man. Let's get it, man. You see the title? It gets scary. It gets spooky. Hilarious.
His first discovery happened to multiple students of Ohio State University back in September of 2013. The group of students only recently started leasing an off-campus house close to the school, and it was in this house where they would make a disturbing find in the basement. Only a month after moving in, the students would start to notice small yet strange occurrences in the house. Things like cupboards, their oven, and even their microwave being left open. The house was 3 stories.
Comment down more
5 students
videos.
on the first floor and 10 others on the second and third. So obviously it was difficult to keep track of everyone. But when they realized none of them were responsible, they decided to search the house, or specifically the basement. What they found was a locked door, which they had originally assumed was a utility closet that the landlord wanted to be kept locked. Though at no point in time was this
I would have broke
confirmed,
that door
and
open.
after calling the landlord about it, they were informed this wasn't the case. The door should not have been locked for any reason. The landlord would end up sending a maintenance worker to check it out, and after breaking down the door, a room that was clearly being lived in was revealed.
Damn.
The room had framed photos and school textbooks scattered around. The students would change all the locks that night and leave a note for whoever was living in the room saying to call them. The man would actually end up calling the number.
That's just
and
pretty
they would be removed
weird.
from the household. It turns out the guy was a cousin to one of the house's previous residents, which is how he got a key in the first place.
That's
One of the students
crazy.
even recalled running into the man in the basement at one point earlier in the month and asking who he was, but only to be met with a very vague answer. Ultimately, the students would blame the leasing company of the home for the incident, as
That's
they
just
were
creepy as
responsible
hell.
for failing to change the locks from the year before. In June of 2020, a man named Christopher Town would make a life-threatening discovery while helping his friend move furniture in his basement. Unknown to both of them at the time was the fact that the house itself was built over a well. And so at one point, when Christopher was making his way across the room, the floorboards just underneath him would snap, which caused him to
hell
fall
nah.
a 25-foot drop to the bottom.
Damn.
Fortunately, there was water at the bottom to break his fall, though this meant Christopher would have to use the rocks on the wall to hold his head above the water while he waited for the local fire.
You guys ever seen The Ring and shit? Or Scary Movie 2 and shit? With the ring and shit? That's where the fuck he fell at.
Fire department to arrive. And to make things worse, the water itself was at an
That's
extremely
crazy.
low temperature. Though, after only a few minutes, the fire department was able to successfully get Christopher out using a hauling system.
That's crazy,
And other than
dog.
almost getting hypothermia, Christopher would make it out unhurt.
Sheesh. He did not die, like, bust his head, you know? Like, what the fuck? Those are rocks down
Mike
there.
Carroll was a man who lived in a small house in
Or
Lake
cement,
Grove, New
whatever the
York,
fuck.
which
That's
was the same house he had
crazy.
grown up in. Mike was 57 at the time, and only a few months prior had purchased the house. Though, while he was in the basement, Mike would make a disturbing discovery. He
Always
would
the
find
basement,
a full
man.
set of human bones buried under some dirt.
Whoa.
But what makes this find so disturbing is the fact that the bones match the DNA of his father.
Whoa.
When Mike was only 8 months old, his father was said to have gone missing, and throughout his childhood, he would question his mother about this. But each time, he was given a different story. So, of course, this made Mike want to find out for himself what had really happened to his father, which is what gave him motivation to buy his childhood house in the first place.
That's fucking
The
crazy.
newly found
Yeah,
bones
so that
would
body's
obviously
still-
caused blame for the disappearance to be shifted onto his mother, though she had unfortunately passed away 20 years prior.
Oh, shit.
So, there's no way of confirming if she was responsible or not, and therefore what really happened will forever be unknown.
Damn.
In January of
That's
2016,
some crazy shit,
an
y'all.
appliance repairman was responding to a call from house owner Charles Price. Though, while the repairman was working in the basement, he would claim to have noticed something moving in a covered container in a back corner. Curious, the repairman would lift off the cover and be met by a 200-pound alligator.
Whoa, shit.
But before running, the repairman would capture multiple pictures for proof to show the police. It turns out the house owner had the alligator for more than 20 years and was supposedly using it to help him with the house's mouse infestation.
Get the fuck
He would
out of here,
illegally
son.
keep the creature in a cage in his basement and claimed to occasionally take him out into his backyard. Shortly after the repairman made the report,
That's
the alligator was confiscated by local animal
crazy.
control.
That's some
and
crazy
released
ass
into a
shit.
better environment.
Discover that shit in the basement? Fuck out of here with that
This
shit.
discovery was posted to Reddit by an account under the name Daily Dish. In the post, the Redditor explains how a few years ago they shared a house with some friends, and in the first few months of living in the house, they hadn't spent much time in the basement. The basement was half finished, with the other half being a sort of dirt crawl space that extended under the porch of the house. They went on to explain how one night they decided to explore it more thoroughly, and after grabbing a flashlight, they discovered a black canvas duffel bag in the very back of the dirt crawl space.
Ah, shit.
Disturbingly, in the duffel bag were 2 black ski masks, a hunting knife, and a single black leather glove.
Damn.
The Redditor went on to explain how they decided to call the non-emergency police number and report the discovery, though the police weren't interested, and therefore the house owners decided to set fire to everything but the hunting knife. Whether that bag had any relation to any sort of criminal activity is still unknown to this day.
That's crazy. That's a weird looking knife, though.
This next discovery comes from a guy who moved into a studio apartment in England. The guy claimed to have moved into the apartment without even viewing the place, and on arrival he would discover something pretty disturbing.
They're like rock.
So here's
Never
the
mind.
apartments I moved into last week.
Don't even forget what I said, yo. I was about to
Pretty
say, is that rock
small,
climbing
pretty
shit? But
nice.
that's just stupid.
Rent was pretty cheap, so I moved in without even viewing the place. And then when I got here, I realized...
Is that my
why
boy's
rent
TV
was
right
so
there?
cheap.
No, never mind.
The guy then goes on to give a tour of the apartment, and after a while, this sort of trapdoor on the floor can be seen.
Got a bathroom, pretty standard.
Small ass bathroom.
And then we look down here.
Knees touching the fucking
What's
floor.
this?
I mean, the door.
It's definitely a handle. So I figured, you know...
That's pretty
there's
crazy.
underfloor storage. So let's lift this up.
What the fuck?
That looks like it goes in pretty deep.
Featured directly under this guy's apartment is some sort of dungeon-looking...
I was gonna say that's like a fucking dungeon up in that hole. Shit. Oh, don't do it.
Well, you can see a corridor going off straight to the front. Interesting graffiti on the wall. And here, this place is straight. There's like
A little slab.
brick seat or bed.
Compared to the rest of the apartment, the area itself is pretty big, featuring many large rooms and corridors.
That's just
What
crazy.
exactly this area
Imagine
was
finding that
used
shit in your
for
house and
is
shit. You
unclear.
move in, you find that shit, no one tells you and shit. Or the homeowners or whatever the fuck.
Way back in 2002,
Realtors
a
don't
homeowner
tell
in
you.
Jefferson County, Wisconsin, found out that the
Well, you
foundation
discover
of her
yourself,
house
that'd
was
be crazy.
deteriorating.
Find a body or
So in
anything.
November, she would apply
Sheesh.
for a loan to repair the foundation. But around 2 weeks later, while away at work, she would get a call from the workers hired to do the repair, explaining how they came across a gruesome discovery.
This is a good video. I like
Decided
this
to remove
video.
the soil from the
Let me know any
foundation
more
wall of the
videos and
basement.
shit, man.
They had unearthed
Music
the full
videos, videos like
skeletal remains
this.
of a body.
Scary
The
videos,
skeleton
scary
was determined to
stories.
be that of a 50-year-old male.
People getting punched
Most
on.
disturbingly, though, is the fact that after further inspection, it was determined that the house had been built right on top of an ancient burial ground.
Oh,
It's
hell.
estimated to be up to 170 years old. Experts believe that in all likelihood, hundreds more skeletons are within a close proximity to the one found. This discovery would ultimately put a stop to the house's renovation altogether. In January of 2010, Wally and Linda DeForest would move into their new home in Goshen, Indiana. Though, only a week after moving in, the couple would discover a live torpedo in their basement. Something they obviously weren't aware of beforehand.
Oh, shit.
Both of them noted how old the thing looked, but still obviously active.
Bro,
There had
whoa.
been no drill holes to indicate it had been disarmed. The couple would end up calling the police, who would send out a bomb squad to extract the torpedo from the property's basement.
What
And
the
luckily, they were able to remove it without incident. But
Dog,
considering the
that's
squad did confirm the
scary.
explosive was still active upon arrival, the whole situation just makes you think how much worse things could have really gone.
Dog, yeah. Bro, imagine having that shit and like, you know, that shit's filled up and shit with like whatever the fuck is it, like gas fuel, whatever the fuck they make bombs out of, dog. Alright, whatever the fuck. Dog, like what if like it gets hot one day, you know, and boom, that shit just explodes. You know, shit can happen like that, dog. Shit can happen like that. That's some scary ass shit. That's some scary ass shit, dog, to find. Hey, let me know what you guys want to see, man. I'm out, man. Peace.